Dear children and elders, once again, I have come to meet you with a new story. This time, the story we are about to hear will help us understand Plato's famous philosophy, which we have discussed before, even more deeply. Contentment is the greatest wealth. Good people need no laws, for they live responsibly. Bad people create their own laws. Shall we see how we are going to understand these profound lines? Many ages ago, nestled between towering mountains and snow-capped peaks, there was a small kingdom called Heavenwood. The people of this land were renowned for their intelligence and artistic talent. All the people of Heavenwood lived with honesty and love. There were no problems or quarrels there. People respected one another and diligently performed their duties. We all know how important laws are for governing a country. But in Heavenwood, there were very few laws. Do you know why? Because all the people there lived responsibly. For example, no one in Heavenwood would steal. A fruit vendor would leave his fruit stall open and go to have his lunch. No fruit would go missing until he returned. The reason was that everyone lived with the contentment of "this is not mine." What better example could there be for Plato's saying, "Good people need no laws, for they live responsibly"? They lived contentedly even with the small income they earned through their hard work. They had no greedy desire to accumulate more wealth. This is the meaning of contentment is the greatest wealth. No one there ever thought of harming others for their personal gain. However, from a distant land, a merchant arrived in that kingdom. His name was Robert. He had amassed a great deal of wealth, but he had no contentment whatsoever. He always wanted more and more. He was astonished to see the peace and honesty of Heavenwood's people. He wondered, why do they live so simply? Why don't they fully utilize all this abundance? Robert slowly entered Heavenwood. He introduced new goods to the people. Beautiful clothes, sparkling jewelry, all sold at very high prices. The people of Heavenwood initially did not care much about them, as they were already content with their lives. But Robert was not one to give up. He began to brainwash the people, preaching, "Earn more, buy more. That is true happiness." Robert created some new rules for himself. "I will sell goods only to those who give me more money. No one should ask questions," he said. And he openly declared, "Whatever I do, that is the law." This is the meaning of bad people create their own laws. He did not care about common, fair rules. He bent the laws to suit his own profit. Slowly, the peace of Heavenwood began to crumble. People started to work in ways that benefited Robert. They began to envy each other. Questions arose. Why does he have so many things? Why don't I? People who once never stole now began to take others' belongings. The reason was the greed sown by Robert. They lost their contentment. This stripped them of their true wealth. Even with laws, no one respected them. One day, an elderly woman from the village went to Robert. She did not quarrel with him in any way. Instead, she spoke with love and patience. "Robert," she said, "we all lived peacefully here. Since you arrived, our lives have changed. Even though you have earned a lot of wealth, you don't have happiness. Why are you so greedy?" Robert was angry at first, but he could not deny the love in the old woman's eyes and the truth in her words. The old woman did not directly tell Robert Plato's philosophy. Instead, she helped him understand it through her way of life. She explained what it meant to live with contentment as the greatest wealth. She and the other villagers demonstrated through their lives that they lived contentedly even with the small wealth they earned through their hard work. The villagers showed that good people need no laws because they live responsibly. Robert realized what a big mistake he had made. He thought about how wrong it was to create laws for himself and cause hardship to others. Robert realized his mistake and repented. He changed all the unfair laws he had created. He apologized to the villagers. Heavenwood once again became peaceful and happy. People began to live with love and responsibility towards one another. Dear children and elders, through this story, we have understood the deep meaning of those 3 lines spoken by the philosopher Plato. Contentment is the greatest wealth. What matters is not how much we earn, but how contentedly we live. Good people need no laws, for they live responsibly. If we live responsibly, according to our conscience, we don't need laws. Bad people create their own laws. Those who are greedy and selfish will create laws for themselves and cause hardship to others. I hope you enjoyed the story. Like the people of Heavenwood, let us also live with contentment and responsibility and be a good example to the world. Thank you.